What if I told you that a single crater on Mercury is so massive, it could swallow the entire United States east of the Mississippi River, and we almost missed discovering it entirely? Stay with me, because what scientists found inside this crater will genuinely make you question everything you think you know about our solar system. Mercury, the smallest planet, the one closest to the sun, the one most people completely forget exists. And honestly, that's the biggest scientific tragedy of our time, because Mercury is hiding secrets that are rewriting textbooks right now, in 2024. Let's talk about Caloris Basin. Say that name out loud. Caloris. It comes from the Latin word for heat. And trust me, that name earns every single letter. This crater stretches approximately 1,550 kilometers wide, or about 960 miles across. To put that in perspective, if you placed Caloris Basin over Europe, it would cover an area from London all the way past Warsaw. This isn't just a crater. This is a wound so deep and so violent that it literally broke the other side of the planet. Here's where it gets controversial. For decades, we were taught that Mercury was a boring, dead rock, just sitting there, doing nothing, contributing nothing. Scientists barely gave it attention compared to Mars or Jupiter. But that assumption was laziness dressed up as science. Because when NASA's Messenger spacecraft spent 4 years orbiting Mercury between 2011 and 2015, the first spacecraft to ever orbit this planet, what it sent back shattered that entire narrative. Caloris Basin was created approximately 3.9 billion years ago during what's called the Late Heavy Bombardment, a period when our inner solar system was essentially a cosmic shooting gallery. An asteroid or comet, believed to be roughly 100 kilometers wide, slammed into Mercury with such catastrophic force that the shock waves traveled completely through the planet's interior and erupted out the other side, creating a strange jumbled terrain scientists now call the weird terrain or chaotic terrain. The planet literally buckled on its opposite face from the impact. Nothing else in our solar system shows evidence of this kind of through-planet destruction quite so clearly. Now pause and think about that. An impact so violent that the other side of a planet, more than 1,500 kilometers away, was physically torn apart by the shock waves. Mercury essentially survived a hit that should have destroyed it, and it's been quietly sitting there, 77 million kilometers from Earth at its closest point, keeping that secret for nearly 4 billion years. But here's what really breaks people's brains. Caloris Basin isn't just a scar. It's actively volcanic history. Messenger discovered evidence of volcanic plains both inside and surrounding the basin. Lava once flooded this enormous impact crater. Hot material from Mercury's interior poured in and partially filled it. This means Mercury wasn't always the dead world we assumed. It had geological activity. It had a story. And then there's the temperature reality inside and around Caloris Basin that makes this even more mind-bending. Mercury has virtually no atmosphere, just a thin exosphere of atoms blasted off its surface by solar wind. Because of this, it experiences the most extreme temperature swings of any planet in our solar system. The surface near Caloris Basin, being one of the closest points to the sun-facing side, can reach temperatures of up to 430 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead. But on the night side, temperatures plummet to negative 180 degrees Celsius. One planet, one surface, a temperature difference of over 600 degrees. Every single day. Here's the part nobody talks about at dinner tables, but absolutely should. Despite being the closest planet to the sun, Mercury is not the hottest planet. Venus, which is second from the sun, is hotter because of its thick atmosphere trapping heat. Mercury has no such blanket. And Caloris Basin sits in one of the most thermally brutal environments in our entire solar system. And yet inside it, there are permanently shadowed craters near Mercury's poles where water ice has been confirmed to exist. Water ice. In the shadow of craters on a planet 77 million kilometers from Earth, coexisting with 430-degree surfaces nearby. That's not science fiction. Messenger confirmed that in data released through NASA and peer-reviewed journals. Now here's where education becomes urgency. The European Space Agency and JAXA, Japan's space agency, launched Bepi-Colombo in October 2018, a spacecraft currently en route to Mercury. It's expected to enter Mercury's orbit in 2025 and will carry instruments far more advanced than Messenger. It's going to study Caloris Basin in unprecedented detail. We are on the absolute edge of discovering things about this crater and Mercury as a whole that we cannot even fully predict yet. The next few years are going to be extraordinary. And yet, most people can't even name Mercury's largest crater. They know about the Grand Canyon. They know about Mount Everest. But a 1,550-kilometer scar that broke a planet in half? Total silence. That's the real problem. We are living in the most exciting era of planetary science in human history, and most of us are scrolling past it. Mercury deserves your attention. Caloris Basin deserves a place in every science classroom, every curious conversation, every late-night rabbit hole you're willing to fall into. If this blew your mind even a little, follow this page right now, because we go deeper every single time. No fluff, no filler, just the universe, explained in a way that actually sticks. Now I want to know, if you could send one instrument or one rover into Caloris Basin to answer one question about Mercury's history, what would you want it to find?